Hello, it is Molly with your Rituals of Returning video for this week. We're going to be having a little bit of a different format today, and in that I'm going to be using the recap deck that I make for our Goddess Magic community this year at the end of each month. So I take each week, I make little cards to help ground us in our practices and kind of root us in the themes and explorations of the month. And then at the end of one month and for the beginning of the next month, I make that set into a little oracle card deck so that we're building a progressive inspiration oracle as the month unfolds or as the year unfolds. And so I decided to do this week's video drawing from that recap deck for March. And so the idea is that the deck builds together and really can be used at any time. It's not necessarily, it's a little bit seasonally specific, but a lot of it can be used at any time. And then it kind of divides up into these quotes and questions cards, these affirmation cards, and then these prayer or poem cards. So you end up with kind of three interlocking decks that then can be used to support, encourage, and inspire your practices. So this is going to be one of the quick videos where I attempt to share three things in several minutes to help inspire your week to come. And so we're actually going to start with today's reading from 365 Days of Goddess, and it is this. There are so many things that need our attention, that call to us for time and love and care and concern. May we tend to our own edges, the realistic and loving limits of our lives and loves and time, with the care we would give anything we wish to see grow strong and capable, anything we want to bloom and thrive. May we keep a place in our days to consciously connect with the sacred. May we keep a place in our hearts for dreams to go, sometimes resting and waiting, sometimes shining and burning. May we keep a place in our lives for solitude and contemplation, time to listen and receive. May we keep a place in our lives for joy, unconstrained and unsurrendered, reaching out from a place of center where all that we keep fuels us and sustains us, nourishes us and encourages us, so that we have what is needed to give with care. And so that is really clearly related to our theme of heal for this month and the goddess Airmid. And so what are you keeping a place for in your life? What are you making space for? What are you holding sacred? What are you keeping a place for? What is calling to you for your time or your love? What are you tending to so that it can bloom and thrive? And do you have a place in your life for joy? Do you have a place in your life for joy? So some affirmations from this inspired by this could be: I tend to my own edges. I tend to my own edges. I nurture what I wish to see thrive. I nurture what I wish to see thrive. I keep a place in my life for the sacred, and I keep a place in my life for myself. It sounds weird sometimes to say that, but really, like, we have to consciously, mindfully, and intentionally tend a space for ourselves in our own lives. That's how we restore, that's how we return, that's how we renew, that's how we replenish, that's how we remain whole, is by tending to a space for ourselves in our own lives. And so the second thing that I want to share with you, and I guess I'm going to have four things to share with you this week, but the second thing is I'd like to draw us back to one of our little cards from the past month. And this is a quote from Joko Beck. Commitment isn't something that happens by chance. Commitment is a capacity, and it grows as a muscle grows by being exercised. And just like I was saying about keeping a space for yourself in your own life, I feel like that's what 30 Days of Goddess helps us to do. That's what a year of Goddess Magic helps us to do, is it helps us commit to our own lives, commit to returning again and again, commit to carving out space for the sacred and for ourselves, commit to the things that we wish to see flourish and thrive. And it really is kind of the secret. I guided Writers Club at the library last week, and that was the one we were talking about, like, secrets to becoming a great writer. And really, that's, if you boil it all down, it's commit. And commit sounds, can sound off-putting. One of the things that I say, and I think is really powerful, is that discipline confines, but devotion liberates. So when we commit, we're committing to what we love. We're not committing out of this dogged, like, pushing yourself, forcing yourself, making yourself miserable because you said you'd do it. We're committing to what we love and we're bringing it up in priority and we're bringing it to the center. That's what I mean by commit. And that is why so discipline confines, when you're like cracking the whip and making yourself do it. But devotion liberates, bringing what you love into the forefront and committing to it. That expands your life, that liberates you, that sets you free. So anyway, commitment isn't something that happens by chance, it's a capacity. And we really do have to nourish our own capacity to commit. So the journal questions for the week are, how are you committing and how are you recommitting? And then the next question connects to our affirmations for the week, but can you keep living can you keep loving this world? An affirmation, I commit to my own life's unfolding. I keep loving this world. So that brings me to my two affirmations, which are, they both connect. This one connects to the commitment. I say yes to life. I say yes to life. And then the next one, I keep loving this world. And I know that can feel tricky. There is a lot going on and there's a lot not to love. So that's not saying you don't take action to change what you can change, but keep loving this world, keep hoping, keep sharing, keep creating, keep making things, keep writing, keep singing, keep dancing, keep reaching out your hands to connect, keep tending to your thread in the web. Keep loving this world. There is so much that is worthy of loving and worthy of time. And so that was the card that I wanted to share about that. And then the next thing I want to share is that we have some beautiful little plant magic goddesses in the Etsy shop this week. And then we have some OAKs in this pigment coming up next week for Earth Day. But these are plant magic. They're made with the biodegradable plant-based inclusions, which is really fun. And I just really love the healing plant magic wisdom of these sparkly little treasures. So those are available on Etsy this week. And then I'm going to go ahead. I have two little poems to close with. One is from a recap and review card, and then one is from my book, In the Temple of the Ordinary, Volume 1. I tend to focus a lot on Volume 2. I use Volume 2 a lot for our Simple and Sacred Circles. I use it for readings when I do poetry readings. That's the book I tend to return to. And I forget sometimes that there's some really good stuff in the Temple of the Ordinary, Volume 1 as well. This one's going to be on sale. I forget if I said it for free or for sale. Anyway, coming up for Earth Day, this book is also available at I think I set this one for free on Kindle for the Earth Day week. So I'll have to clarify that. It might just be one of those countdown sales. So it starts at 99 cents and goes down. I'll have to clarify what that is. That'll be in our Rituals Returning newsletter. The links will be there. But I wanted to share the Spring Walk poem from this book with you. I am standing in the woods with a crow feather in one hand and a length of bone in the other, as the wind sweeps through the pines and along my spine. And it is then that I remember there is nothing as infectious as fear, nothing as contagious as hope, nothing as courageous as love, few things as healing as laughter, and nothing as inspiring and powerful as feeling my own 2 feet carrying my skin and bones and soul over brown leaves on a rocky slope as moss gleams green gold in the sun. The hawk's cries rise over oak and cedar and into the clouds. Breathing deep and blinking at the sky, I also remember this is what I have to see. This is what I have to share. This is what I have to hold in my heart. So what are you holding in your heart this week as you keep loving this world? And what is happening in your own magic of place? What is happening in the land around you? What wisdom is right there, right where you are? And then closing with this little prayer from our little card deck. So inviting you to take a deep breath and settle in. I stand at the threshold of change, listening to the winds of possibility. I open the inner door of my heart, releasing what I no longer need and choosing wisely what nourishes my spirit. From the depths, I restore myself to wholeness, embracing both the wisdom of darkness and the promise of emerging light. I liberate myself to choose, to explore, to grow, to bloom. I trust my inner journey and welcome the seeds of my unfurling. I am the keeper of my own magic, rooted on the earth, reaching toward the sky, restored, renewed, transformed. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Keep living your magic. Bye-bye.